Okay, welcome to the latest production line developer video blog thing. I'm Cliff Harris, Cliffski. I'm the programmer and designer of the game. Decided not to wear a hat this time. I also decided if any of my cats show up, they may become guests. We got two new kittens and had to lock them away because they were bothering our large cat. Our huge cat, who is normally asleep behind me, but he's not actually here. Anyway, loads of cool stuff has gone in, so lots of stuff to talk about. I'm just going to show you something that isn't really in yet. This is build 1.59 unstable, which is currently on the unstable build of Steam, and I hope to set it live in a few days, just when I've heard from enough people that it runs okay. I just added a new thing this morning because I thought why not, because I had the artwork, and I'll show you it down here. Let me just fiddle with this. We have new robots. This is them here, and what I'm going to do is just turn off the overhead conveyors a bit so you can see them better. So what they're doing is they're picking from a pile of little battery cells, which iconically are shown here really large, and they're assembling them into these battery modules. Those battery modules will then go to here, and they'll get apparently welded into battery packs, which will then go into electric cars. Now, toggling this on and off does make me think maybe it's a bit too chunky, it's a bit too in the way, and I wonder if I might need better, well, not better, but different artwork for this, so it's less invasive. What do you think? I'd be interested to know what people think about that. So this is a new piece of artwork that's gone in. It doesn't change anything else, but you know, we have these cool little robots now that like swing around and everything. They should go super quick, yeah, at triple speed. That's just awesome. I love it. I love animated robots. I love real robots. Robots are our friends. Unless you do unskilled work in a warehouse, in which case robots are your future enemies. Anyway, so what's been going on? Loads of stuff's been going on because we have new researchable stuff about to go in. I'll show you it. Look at that. Need to crop that. So we have fast powertrains and super fast powertrains, which I'm researching the manufacturer of. And if I go down here, you'll find that that's not all. So we now have fast engines, super fast engines, fast electric powertrains, super fast electric powertrain. So basically we've gone from having essentially two types of car. We've got the internal combustion engine car, which we've normally got. We've gone from that and electric. And we had, in between we had like hybrid and stop-start. Stop-start is like a petrol one that cuts out and restarts when you're like at a junction. Hybrid has electric motor and a petrol engine as well, petrol or diesel, whatever. So now we've expanded upon that. So we have, yeah, you've got your normal engine, but you've also got a fast one and a super fast one, which would be very expensive. And the same with electric. You've got a normal electric motor, and then you've got a fast one, and then a super fast one. So what that means is there's loads of mutually exclusive options now, and that has resulted in me having to do some user interface work. Because what used to happen, if we go here, we'll pick a newish car, some stuff that you would click would unclick other options. So if you selected, you know, sunroof, it would turn off panoramic sunroof, and then if you went and you were scrolling down, you saw, oh, we don't have a panoramic sunroof, I'll click that, that would turn off sunroof, because they were mutually exclusive. Now what that meant was people could get confused as to what was and was not mutually exclusive. It also meant that this list was stupidly long because everything was in it. So after a lot of hassle, what I've done is I've changed this so that, and most of this hassle is kind of like under the hood code stuff you don't need to worry about. Let's go with blue. What that means is that although all these items look the same, that they're not. So these are all the features you can have on your car, but some of them are not just features but categories. And you can tell they're categories because they have a white header and a little folder icon up here. This is all new. hang on, I'm just going to check something because yeah. So if you click on a normal one like this, you can turn it on or turn it off. Yeah. If you click on a category, it will now launch a new little window, which is kind of placeholder. It will be better, right? I hope. So you can choose, do you want xenon headlights or LED headlights? Or do you not want LED headlights, in which case we default to basic, which you cannot turn off. Unless you make another choice, you will always have lights. But you can have LED ones or xenon ones or just the basic ones. Okay, and we've got a few of these. So powertrain is in there now. So we have electric, we have fast, super fast, or the default, which is an internal combustion engine. So if you want internal combustion, you've got this, this, or this. If you want electric, you've got that. I haven't researched the other powertrains yet, which is why they're not there. So I don't have hybrid, I don't have stop-start, and I don't have the fast and super fast electric. So this is a new system. At the moment, all you've got is the roof, which you've got to have some option, open top, solid, or sunroof, and the powertrain and the lights. I am thinking that I may collapse some of the other options and change them at some point. So for example, we have central locking and then we have keyless entry. You're not going to have keyless entry without central locking, so maybe maybe I need to incorporate the central locking cost and everything into the other feature. It would be good if this was not a huge long scrollable list. Something else I'm considering is on wide monitors like this, making this a double, making this whole window wider and scrolling 2 columns here and rearranging that. But that might be a little bit too over the top, I don't know. But what this allows me to do, which I think is important, is not only like simplify this bit of user interface at first look, but it also allows me to add a lot more kind of premium options. So you'll notice that one of the options here is, have I got it yet? I don't think I've researched it yet. Oh yeah, premium music. And we have in-car music, I think we call it. So I could collapse those two together, and then I could have, like, you know, super surround sound mega music. Some of the options you see in high-end cars are kind of ridiculous. They're all sort of, there are 16 speakers and they have been tuned for the acoustic properties of your seat and all this kind of stuff. I suspect at the very high end a lot of it is just absolute nonsense. You know, I've had pretty nice cars, and yeah, the sound is better, but beyond like 8 speakers, what the hell are you doing? How many speakers do you need in a box that you sit in? Like, come on, it's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, you know, it sells. So there you go. So this is a user interface change, but also a kind of change that I think sort of further on is going to allow a lot more sort of flexibility in the design. Now, why bother, right? Why add these things apart from the fact that they were very requested by players? One of the reasons for this is we need luxury cars. This is a luxury car, and I've got a 72% gross profit on it. Now, I am selling them, but I've got more in the showroom, so it's a bit too expensive. So I really need to knock it down, and then it only becomes expensive. So what we need is more stuff that you only get in luxury cars. So obviously, like a really high-end powertrain is what we need. So I've gone with electric there, but actually that is more expensive, isn't it? So if I go with the electric powertrain at the moment, by the time I've researched the others, and I give it a large battery pack as well, the large battery pack, so that's costing me an extra 8,000, but you know, I could probably sell some now. I could probably sell them all at maybe $102,000, I think. Anyway, other options are going to be coming. New body types, more expensive body types will be coming. Different front end grills, different lighting configurations will be coming. So you will be able to, my aim is that luxury cars should be a lot more easy to add to the game, and for that market to be satisfied than they currently are. I've got all sorts of problems here, as you can see, but I've only really got one luxury car, and it's the sports car at the moment. I want you to be able to sell a luxury compact car. Technically speaking, my last car was a luxury compact car. I wouldn't call it luxury. So you know, they are a thing. It's not like luxury cars are all huge things by any stretch. Oh yes, yeah, of course I don't have the large battery pack in this one, in these existing ones now. Annoying. Anyway, so that's gone in. That was quite a big deal, actually. Is there anything else that actually that I put in? So blah blah blah. Paint compressors. Oh yes. We like a bit of researchable tech here at Production Line Game Development Limited. That'd be Positech Games, actually. So you might know that we have, oh, it's broken down, oh dear. We have a normal like paint facility, and then you can have this, which is, I can't remember what they're called. High pressure paint nozzles, which are these green things. We now have next gen paint compressors. So I'll just I'll quickly research that. Research now and speed up. I don't think I've got much in the way of, I've really slacked on my research in this game. So, yeah, let's put in a few of these. Oh. I start getting a bit blasé, and then I realise I don't actually have that much money. So while I'm researching that, what else have we got? What else has changed since the last one? Battery machine, new paint nozzles. Yeah, there was a few balance things. Like making, when you manufacture brakes, it now produces 2 brakes at a time rather than 1. They're kind of like an ongoing thing. I have this giant spreadsheet that works out for me if any resource manufacture is too profitable or not profitable enough. Because the idea is, I like the idea of vertical integration, and I like the idea that you kind of make as many components as possible for your factory. That's going to take ages to research, isn't it? Can I talk that long? I will get other stuff out of the way while we do that. Okay, so next week, I think I'm here next week. I am. So next week there'll be a video. After that there won't be, because I'll be at EGX in Birmingham, and after that there won't be because I will be at a business meeting somewhere. So I won't be doing a video that week. So it will seem like there's a bit of a delay, but obviously loads of stuff's still going to be going into the game. We've got quite a lot of artwork that came through. I have the artwork for the machine that makes silicon chips, which is going to be hilarious because it's going to be very expensive, hard to research, and I thought I'd make it really big as well. At least 9 tiles, but maybe like 12 or something, with loads of computers and guys in like white, you know, those like white overalls that they, well, guys, girls, whoever, in like, you probably wouldn't be able to tell, like in white overalls that do the whole like clean room stuff. So that would be cool. That would be going in. There's some other stuff that I've got the, I've got all the artwork coming for. Yeah, new wheel types. They're going to be cool. Because at the moment we only have alloy and normal. You can't even have matte black. And I need to decouple the tyres from the wheels. I must do that. I must email the artist. There's so much going on. And at some point I'm going to be talking about radically new things. Anyway, just before this goes, I'm also going to show you a stupidly big factory, which will mean reloading the whole game. I'm trying to keep the game's memory usage as low as possible because at the moment it is just about possible to hit 2 gig, which is the 32-bit program limit on the Detroit map, and I'm going to port the game to 64-bit anyway, but I want to make it as efficient as possible. So yeah, this little green business here, that's when you have paint, high pressure paint nozzles, next gen paint compressors, boom, adds these little red things, and it just makes it slightly quicker. So that's 7% faster. The high pressure ones are 10. So I'm now going 17% faster than normal on that particular one. And I like having lots of options there because it allows you to kind of like fine tune stuff, right? Okay, I'm going to show you a massive factory. I'm going to quit the app because I don't know. You're like, you know, something will go wrong, right? If I just quit to main menu and load it, I know it won't, but it would just be typical. Here's one I really like, and I know it's running fine because I loaded it yesterday, I think, to test. I was doing some testing. This does take a little bit of time to load, and you'll see why it takes so long to load in a minute. And this is just to point out that yeah, we can do this. This is in release build, isn't it? Yeah. That we can do a game. You can do a game like this that has this amount of scale, and it can run on a reasonable PC, and and it will be well under 2 gigs of memory. It can be done, but you just have to optimize the hell out of the code, and a huge amount of optimization has taken place. I recently reduced the size of the memory requirements for shooter maps. Now you might think, oh my god, this is so slow. Look, it's so slow. But it's just the initial load where it caches some routes. It will be slightly slow anyway because, you know, I'm streaming and stuff like that. But I will just let it calm down, which normally takes about 10 seconds. But if I'm streaming, it's probably going to take about 20 seconds, I think. And this is where it goes through and makes sure it has a pre-cached route from every location to every other location. There's a lot of locations. This is a custom map, so it will take a while. It's nearly done. You can see it's starting to move smoother. It's not the world's best frame rate, but it's getting better. Okay, and there we go. This is a big map. This is insane, and it will run at triple speed as well. It's absolutely crazy. I'd say it's probably running at about half the frame rate that it does when I'm not streaming. It's pretty damn smooth when I'm streaming it, when I'm not streaming it, and I'm rather pleased with this. So basically, if this wasn't done by me, this was done by a player. So if you haven't managed this, then you know you suck at the game. What's the throughput? It's something ridiculous. Oh, it's only 100. Slackness. It's because it hasn't implemented some of the new export options down here. Yeah, a lot of this needs splitting apart. Look, it's just got standard export. Oh no, hang on. No, maybe it has. Yeah, no, it hasn't been split out. Yeah, no, it can go a lot quicker than that. It can go a lot quicker than that. Anyway, the game will do this quite happily, especially if you're not recording and streaming and everything like this. And I don't have a particularly cutting edge PC. It's an i7 something or other, but you know, it doesn't use much RAM. By the way, just in case you care, adding RAM to your PC will make absolutely no difference to production line whatsoever. It's all about the CPU. Anyway, this is Production Line by Positech Games. It is in early access. Please go buy it and start your own car factory. Thanks for watching. I will be here next week, but not the week after, as I said. So I'll see you then. Cheers.